You can do this in two ways. You can start with a chain 2, so I'm going to show you both ways. You can start with a chain of 2, and in that very first chain, the one that's closest to the knot, you can place 6 single crochets. So just in there you'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6, and that's our start begun. Or alternatively, you can do it with a magic ring. So the way I do a magic ring is I place the yarn over my 2 fingers like this, so the short end of the working yarn over my 2 fingers. I capture it with my thumb, I wrap it around 3 fingers like a lasso, put this little bit over the top, catch it with my thumb again, and then let the working yarn fall down the back. I then take my hook and I hold the circle with my ring finger and middle finger on one hand and over my fingers on the other hand. So I put my middle finger in to kind of pull the loop apart. I then insert my hook into the hole. I pull that working yarn through and up, and with that I chain 1. Now that chain 1 doesn't count for anything, it's just a chain to help me get started. Okay, now I place my 6 single crochets into that hole. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. When I have my 6th one done, I'm going to hold the work and turn it slightly upside down. I can see this short tail. I'm going to free it and I'm going to pull on it, and as I pull on it, what you'll see happening is it'll start to close, and that's what you want to happen. It'll close very tight. So that's the end of our first round. In our second round, we're going to have a complete increase round. So each stitch that you have, you're going to put 2 single crochets into it. So off you go. So 2 in each stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, getting all mixed up. Okay, when you come to the end of that second row, especially if you've done a magic ring, what I like to do is I like to turn my work over. I'll pull that small piece of yarn tight again to close that hole. I go underneath the stitches, I pull the yarn through and I do a chain 1, and that tightens and closes off that ring so that it doesn't come undone. Now we're moving on to round 3, and in round 3 it's another increase row. This time you're going to put 1 single crochet in one stitch and 2 into the next. Now if you want, you can use a stitch marker at this point to help you keep track of your stitches. So I'm just going to put a little stitch marker into my last stitch so that I know that that's where I need to stop. So the first one has 1 single crochet, the next one's going to have 2, the next one will have 1, and then 2 again, and you're going to repeat that the whole way around. And you should have 18 stitches when you are finished. So I'm just going to move my stitch marker now into that last stitch, just so that I have it marked for my next row. And we're moving on now to row 4, round 4. So again, another increase row, and this time we're going to be putting 1 single crochet in one, 1 single crochet in the next, and then 2 single crochets in the next one. So that's 1 single crochet another 1 single crochet in the next, and then 2 single crochets. So this time, by the end of this round, you should have 24 stitches. So these are worked completely in the round with no joins. And again, you can move that little stitch marker to the right place when you finish your row. Moving on, we're going on to the last round in the colour yellow. So we're still increasing. So we want to put 3 single crochets in. So 1, 2, 3, and then 2 together. So 1, 2, 3, 2 together. By the end of this round, then you will have 30. 3, and 2 together. So at this point, I want you to take off your little stitch marker, and that's that round finished. So you're going to cut your tail and finish that off. So I like to just go into the next stitch and slip stitch to finish. So this first part is the part that we're going to be using for our face. So what I want you to do is to take your safety eyes and approximately round 3, so 1, 2, 3, you're going to insert your safety eyes. Okay, so I tend to put them 3 stitches apart, so 1, 2, 3 over here, but you can play about with them until you see where you actually like them to go. Now that I have the little eyes on, I want to embroider on a little smile, so I'm going to take some scrap, just a little bit of red, and what I'm going to do is thread it through my tapestry needle, and I just connect it in here. I then will go here, and then one over the other side, and then down, pull that smile down, and then if I don't really like how it's sitting, I'm going to pull it down on this side then also, and that gives it a little smile. Go round the back and just tidying that in, just lifting one loop of the stitch and bringing my needle through, cutting that off. So we're almost done just with a little smile, so the only other thing to do is give them a couple of little cheeks. So again, just scrap amounts of yarn, not a big amount needed for this. Thread through your needle, and the same kind of process where you're only lifting up a couple of stitches just to anchor that yarn in so that it doesn't go anywhere. And here we go. So we're going to give him a cheek over this side, just a little smile. So I tend to go in twice, and then the same over this side. And then I'm going to finish that off also, just going to take it back behind and do the same sort of thing, just to connect it in and seal it so that it doesn't come undone. Okay, now the back does look a little bit of a mess, but that doesn't matter because that's going to be in the inside and hidden away. So now what you need to do is you need to create another circle. So I want you to pause the video here, and I want you to go and make your other circle. So now you come back, we've got 2 little circles. So what I'm going to get you to do is put them both together. So wrong side to wrong side, so the right sides are both pointing out on both sides. Take the colour that you want your petals to be, so of course mine is going to be purple. So you just create a little slip knot to begin, And then just insert your hook through the stitches on one side and out through the stitches on the other side, and just bring your purple through, chain 1, and then what I want you to do is place a single crochet in each stitch the whole way around. So what you're doing is you're sealing that off. So when you come about 3/4 way, we're going to stop. Okay, so you're to put a single crochet in each stitch the whole way around, working from the front stitches through to the back, just to seal that little flower off, so that you're creating a little disc, so we can put our stuffing in. So if you come to a little end like this, just tuck it inside your little pouch, because that end can be hidden as we're working around. Okay. When you get until there are about 5 stitches left, or 6, then I want you to stop. So it is at this point here we have a little bit of an opening, so I want you just to kind of open it, take a small amount of stuffing and push it inside. Now you don't want to overly stuff these, you only want them to give them a little bit of life, so just a small amount of stuffing is all that's needed. So just push that in and make sure that your eyes aren't getting distorted as you're pushing the stuffing in. So just bring it into whatever shape you need it to go. So, and when you're happy that you have enough stuffing and that it's the right sort of shape for you, then you just continue to put a single crochet in each one until you get to the very last one. And then you're just going to slip stitch. You're going to slip stitch to seal that shut, and of course this doesn't want to come out. So just slip stitch to close. And now we're going to put our petals on. So we're going to chain 1 to start, and then you're going to put 1/2 double crochet, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 double crochets, and then 1 more half double crochet, all in that same stitch. You're going to skip 1 stitch and you're going to slip stitch into the next one, and then you're just going to repeat that process again. So you're going to do a half treble, that's the UK terms coming in there. So 1, 2, 3, 4 and a half double, then skip 1, slip stitch to the next. So this is me just round to my last one, and I'm just finishing off the petals. So I'm just going to slip stitch down, and then I'm just going to slip stitch into the back of the next one just to seal it off. So just in there, just another slip stitch. I'm going to cut my yarn, and that's him. That's my little flower all done. And he's kind of cute, so it will brighten up hopefully somebody's day. If you've liked this video, just can you leave me a little like, or hit the subscribe button to see all future uploads from Flo's Crafty Crochet. Thank you very much for taking the time to watch this. Please share all over the internet and let me see all those lovely makes. Thank you. Bye.